Hello and welcome to the R1 presentation. We are team number 26. I am Noman Qureshi and I have with me my teammate Snehit Kumar. And our task was to build a BP monitoring system which measures the continuous BP and to build an intuitive AI UI which can uh, be presented to the end user. So, BP monitoring system, this app is a simple app that can save lives. Okay. So,
Our team members are Noman Qureshi 2018111127 and Varun 2019121011, MVN Analysis 2018101076, Snehit Kumar 2018 Snehit Kumar myself 2018101023.
So, the introduction. So, medical technology is a broad field where innovation plays a crucial role in sustaining health.
Today, medical software applications are designed to give devices a range of functionalities.
So, like we are seeing products like Fitbit, Apple Watch, which are continuously measuring the heartbeats of the user and notifying them. So, technology is helping us reach people like no other time in the history. We as a species are striving to provide affordable healthcare to everyone in the world.
Our aim is to build a personalized continuous monitoring BP monitoring suite. We will read ECG and BP data from Bluetooth device and build monitoring applications for doctors, nurses, and family members.
So the application would monitor the BP of a patient and would be able to notify the doctor and caretakers if something is wrong with the trends of the patient. Abnormal BP can lead to heart attacks, metabolic syndrome, dizziness, etc. And early detection can save lives of many.
India currently has shortage of estimated 6 lakhs doctors and 2 million nurses according to the report by CDDEP.
If our product is really deployed and sensors can be made affordable, it will be helping millions of people in the rural areas of the countries. So,
Sector of end users who can use our app. Our app is useful for patients who need to be under continuous surveillance of their BP trends or the patients who have their white coat syndrome.
our health, our app helps the above mentioned patient a lot since doctor can direct the patient whenever there is some problem with patient's condition. Making of the login and register screens. We need to consider what type of login should allow in the app. Reasons for omitting other types of login or registration, like if someone is already registered, so we need to tell him that you are already registered and you need not to register again. So what fields are need to be taken, like for different type of user, like if there is a doctor, if there is a caretaker, different fields needs to be taken from him or her. So this was a challenge, like ways to store them in database, like which framework to use, which database to use. So we decided to at last to use Firebase, and handling cases like forgot password, invalid credentials, etc.
Making fragments and UI for Bluetooth activity. Fragments make an application more modular and easier to maintain. The navigation was made for fragments and thus the variables were also made between the directions.
So Bluetooth device listing. An adapter was made to list out the paired Bluetooth device. The Bluetooth device is then shared its address with the Bluetooth data receiving fragment. Then the received data is displayed on the user's screen.
Adding and getting data from database. First, to do that, we have to have an access to the database. Then, after having an access to the database, we'll establish a secure communication between app and database. Then we can add and get the required data from the database.
Transitioning from like building the user interface is one of the main part of the app. So the transitioning from one activity to another. So like we were new to the Android app development. So we need to learn all these things. So these were a little like simple things, but which can eat up a lot of time. So like transitioning from one activity to another, passing the data between different activities, basics of how to use an intent in Kotlin, plotting graphs from the given data, like using external libraries to make a responsive graphical representation, building the adapter for holding the data. Like adapter is a data source that helps us to fill data in the UI component. So building these things take up a lot of time. Like learning them takes up a lot of time.
Use of agile methodology. Agile software development gives us the ability to deal with changes in requirements. We have certain values associated with agile software development methodology. Agile helps us to create and respond to the changes.
So like we use the agile to successively build different building blocks of our project. For example, we made first the login application. Another teammate build the dashboard of the user type. Each user type, like a doctor has a different dashboard than a patient and a caretaker. We made an application to connect with Bluetooth. Like this was Varun's part, I think. So he made a app to connect with the Bluetooth and uh, follow the simple protocol of the Bluetooth. We made relevant CRUD requests for the databases.
In the process of each of the blocks, we followed agile values, simplicity, to keep app simple and easy to use, communication, communicating with the client to get exact details of
So
the
like we
project,
did a lot of meetings with the client to get the exact details, like what exactly he wants.
feedback, getting feedback from TA and client to check whether the block build is apt or not, aggressiveness. We planned more than what we can do so that we keep ourselves busy
So
always.
like a lot of part, like we are able to complete 80% of the things which we mentioned, and we planned aggressively so that we can keep ourselves more busy. So this is the timeline which we have followed till now, and what we plan to follow. Like till the February, we have mentioned all the things we have done, and the successive things are what we are planning to do. So like in sprint 1 and 2, we started collecting the requirement from the client, analyze the requirement to make sure there are no ambiguities and all the requirements are feasible.
Sprint 3 and 4, like it is still R1. We have learned Android development in this stage of the project, and we have built basic UI and backend of CRUD and getting CRUD requests, registration, login, Bluetooth pairing. All of these were done in this
So sprint
phase.
5 and 6. Now we plan to do QR pairing between users, providing the facility for users to chat between themselves, notification generating, background activity, pushing data into graphs, and improving the UI.
In last sprint, like in last 10 days, we will be working on integrating of all the blocks we have built and testing them according to the level and getting feedback from end user.
So yeah, the slides to cover what lies ahead for us. So like pairing different users such as doctor patient, caretaker and doctor caretaker, like different user relationships are there. Receiving data from Bluetooth device to the user application,
Pushing the data to cloud platform, providing the users the capability to chat with each other, generating notifications on.
like relevant notification for each of the users. So now we will give you a quick demo of our app so that we can conclude this presentation. So this is the code which we have in front of us. So like this is the main activity for the login activity, and these are the different activities. Now we will refactor them once we are done with R1 so that it will be more modular and more like understandable. And these are different UI of the dashboards. Like this is the caretaker's dashboard. He can just click on patient and doctors to see the patients under him and the doctors he is working for. So this so these are different examples. So like this is dashboard for a doctor, and this is a simple list item, and this is sign up activity dashboard. So you can see like a person can choose between doctor, patient, caretaker, and put in the relevant field. So then now we will show you the actual demo in a simulator. So like this is our virtual device.
Like now we can have a login screen. If if you if any user don't have account, then user can sign up.
So like we can see that for caretaker, we only take working hours. For if we click on patient, we need to get more information like age, the sex of the patient, and medical condition. And for doctor also, we have the relevant fields. So now, uh, so a user can register from here, and he can go and log in the main activity. So like here is our demo login which we are showing. So like we have logged in, and we can see when we click on patients, we can see a list of patients under it. Right now, patients and caretaker have the same data because we are fetching from the same model. And once we are done with integrating the CRUD request with the UI, it would be really cool to see. Uh, Now we can click on the sign out thing to just get out, like sign out of the app, and we will show now the Bluetooth part here. So like no data received. So this is the Bluetooth screen, UI screen. So we can click on view devices to see the list of all devices. Currently my emulator does not support the Bluetooth adapters. So yeah, so we are not able to see. But in the actual presentation, we will show on our actual device. And yeah, so once the data starts getting received, we will show the data here. Again, we are not having the uh, Bluetooth capability on the emulator, so we are not able to show it. So yeah,
That concludes our presentation.
uh, that concludes our presentation. Thank you.